Hi there, a very good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're hearing me and watching me. This is Simply Stocks, and I'm live in this live session with you all. And today I'm going to discuss about a very interesting sector that I don't cover a lot, but I have traded in that probably 5, 6 years back, and I stopped trading from 2015 onwards. But now that sector looks pretty good, and that sector looks quite attractive. And the way the stocks are moving, although they have moved up a lot, but it has been a 5 year of lull in that sector. I'm talking of the textile sector, and would be looking to talk about the whole textile sector and what lies ahead and why the change has happened, and plus we'll answer your queries as well. Hello, Priya Kumar. Hope you're doing well with your investments and all. And let more people join in. It's a cold morning here in northern part of India, and extremely chilly as expected in January. And the market is also cold. So what is happening is that there has been decline, and it's very good for the market for consolidation to take place. Probably 17,700, 750 is a very good support, and we should be headed higher. So I'll talk about the markets as well. Abhishek, hello. Harcharan, very good morning. Prabhu, a very good morning to you. Nitin, morning. So I'll talk about the stocks. I'll answer your queries later on once I discuss about these three, four companies that I have talked about. Before I forget a lot of things now. A day is becoming old, maybe. Uh, so we'll discuss that. We'll discuss about the markets as well. So let's just spend a couple of minutes for the markets as to how things look like. So IT results are coming out, and Tata Elxsi have come out with very good numbers. So people are asking about where is it headed. I think today's high could be deemed as something that is probably a good level to book profits if you're bought for a short term. Uh, in a 3 to 4 month time frame before next results, I see the stock going towards 8,500, 8,800 as well. So Tata Elxsi came out with very good numbers. Mastech came out with only a 15-18% growth, and that has been slammed. We have seen L&T Infotech being sold off, and many other stocks that have not performed well in the IT sector because of the heavy run up that we have seen. And because of that, market has been under pressure. The bank nifty hasn't been doing that greatly, but that was expected. 18,300 to 600 is heavy resistance, and it is good that the market is consolidating here, and hopefully it will do that till budget. And if we have budget around 17,600, 700, then we'll see buying come in. A cause of worry here is the fact that FIIs are not buying, although I believe that the way DIIs have got in, and retailers, DIIs, and all the mutual funds in India have got into the market, the effect of FII has reduced, but it has not gone down completely. So for the market to really go on a rampage towards 20,000, 21,000, FIIs have to come back. And after selling for about 9 months already, I think this will be the 10th month. I think in a month or two, they would have to come back, no matter if the markets have fallen or not. So I believe that better times for the stock market is ahead. People are talking about range bound move in 2022. That could be possible, but I still see new highs being made this year, and heading towards 19,500, 20,000 before a major fall takes place. So that about the market. Let's talk about the industry that I wanted to talk to you about. So the textile sector has come back into focus over the last 6 months after the PLI schemes that have been announced for the sector, after a lot of you can say efforts being made by the government in order to propel the sector. And it is in the manufacturing, core manufacturing sector it is, and it requires a lot of investments. It is a high gestation period kind of a business with high investment, and a very long, you can say, cycle, business cycle that it has. It is not quite, or probably opposite to what we see in the consumer sector, or most of the consumer discretionary or consumer staples or consumer durable companies. It is a complete opposite of it, that profits come in late, uh, from the time any order that comes in, and so on and so forth. But things are looking up, charts are looking up, things are looking up in this sector, as things are looking up in the real estate sector. So I bring forward at least three companies that I believe is going to perform well this year, even after the move. And first in that list is, and nothing in the chronological order, but one of these three is Wellspun India. I believe Wellspun India has had that flip flop and the problems that it had about 4 or 5 years back with the with Wimbledon, with their association with Wimbledon, with their association in Europe, with some clients, and they stalled probably their exports to some of their clients at that point of time. It had a split. I remember Wellspun India doing extremely well between 2012 to 15. I remember it going to 870, 880, 900 rupees. It got split, and so on and so forth. And right now, if that split is taken into account, we are at 1500, but it has taken 5 years for the stock to uh, go from 900 to 1500. So it has been a 60% move over 5 years. So I believe that around 150, 155, and on declines to 135, it could be accumulated from a 6 to 9 months time frame. And 220, 225 could be a reasonable target to look at before the end of the year. So Wellspun India is a top-notch company which exports, which has very good brands with itself, and had a very good pedigree with respect to corporate governance and the way the management works. So this is one of the stocks to look at. Second is KPR Mills. People are asking about KPR Mills. A lot of queries that have come in. I believe KPR Mills on any declines towards 700, 710 can be accumulated. Another stock that could perform extremely well, that could go up at least 30% from here this year, and we could be headed towards 950, 970 odd over the next 6 to 9 months, is KPR Mills by Diwali. And so this is something that should be bought on decline. So let markets settle down, let markets fall, although the sector is not falling that much. So this is another stock that one can look forward to in order to buy and make money from. The third stock in my list here is Arvind Fashions, and I believe the way Arvind Fashions has behaved, although it is not the best of the companies in this sector, but the way the charts are looking and the way they've got into the PLI scheme, and many other things happening, although the company is coming out with not that greater results, but results are improving. A 4,000 crore company, one can accumulate Arvind Fashions on declines towards levels of 300. I think levels of 300 to 280 could be very good levels to accumulate the stock. I think once 360, 370 is taken out, we are looking at 450, 460 on the stock over the next 9 months, 8, 9 months. I think it can be accumulated on decline. So this is one of the stocks to look at. Another stock, a bonus stock for you all, and this is one of my erstwhile favorites in the textile industry. Is one of the very few early stocks that I picked up along with Sonata Software. This was the stock that I picked up in 2012. I remember, and I carried that on, and it was one of my best trades at that point of time. And this is Nitin Spinners. Right now, Nitin Spinners is around 300, which was really unthought of at that point of time. So this is a stock that I bought in 2012 around 17, 18 rupees. I think it was 27 rupees at that point of time. It has been a 10 bagger, but it has taken 8, 9 years. It's a 1700 crore company now. It was a 150, 170 crore company at that point of time. This is a very decent company, trading at only 7, 8 times. And if you look at 1 year forward earnings, trading at only 5, 6 times. I think it should trade around 10 times earnings, and I think earnings would be around 43, 44 rupees. So this is headed towards 430 in my opinion. So another stock that could be accumulated on declines to 280, 290 for a target of 400 over the next 1 year. Another stock that could be bought here and on dips to 280, 275. A volatile stock, Nitin Spinners, with low float. So kindly take that on note. But this is a very interesting company, very good management, and which has performed decently even in difficult times. So this is another cotton yarn company that one can look at. So these are the four companies that I mentioned here, and hopefully these will make you good money this year. I think textile looks good for a good move in 2022. Maybe in 23, by the time 23 Feb March comes around, a lot of people would be into it, and that would be time to book out of some of the textile stocks. All right, so I'm ready to answer your queries. Can you use the super chat and super sticker feature that help me grow the channel? Help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail. And for the next 10 minutes, I'll be answering your queries here. So yes, patients do pay, Mr. Ravi, but I did sold that off for around 75 or 80 rupees, as I remember buying at 27.30. Took me a year and a half for a 3x return. That sounded good for me, and then I bought again around 85, 86 and sold at 140. So for a 60, 70% return. So twice I have traded in Nitin Spinners over the last 5, 7 years. uh, so it has not been a hold for that long, and that's why I want to hold something like a kill paste. A disclaimer, I have the stock, and a lot of people know about it from a very long term point of view, and let's see how that goes about. Okay. See, Tanla Solutions making new highs. I always feel it is expensive, but the stock is doing a lot of things. Probably on bad days in the market, one can accumulate the stock around 1800, 1750. That would be the call. Clean Science and Map My India, very good long term bets. Map My India, if you have a 3 to 4 year view, can buy here. But if you want to trade, I would not say that you buy here and probably you'll make money immediately. I think the stock could get into consolidation or some decline. Another point I want to make here is everything that we discuss here is for educational purposes. You are on your own in making a decision on your own with respect to whatever trades you will take. So these are all my personal opinion. Kindly take that on note. I would not look at Alok Industries at all. So if you have a chance with the textile industry doing so well and the sector doing so well, just exit the stock even in losses, because once the sector goes out of favor, then you will be probably looking at major losses with the stock. One of the you can say laggards in the industry is Alok. Okay. See, what has been happening to IT, Shubham, is simply what I talked about 2, 3 weeks back, that IT may take a back seat between February and August, September, and other sectors would come in, and that is happening. So it's a mere case of some consolidation and decline and taking place in the industry. Industry over 8 years should continue to do extremely well, but over the next 3 to 6 months it may struggle. So see, it's a simple thing. If the companies are coming out with 40%, 35, 40% net profit growth, then it is being rewarded a little bit with a 10, 15% up move. But if they are coming out with anything less, then we are seeing what is happening with Mastech, with L&T Infotech, and many other larger mid caps. So that would keep on happening. Okay. Shardul, thanks for your contribution. Voltas or Reliance for 1 year and target in both. I think Voltas looks good. Even around 1250, 1270, one can buy. If it is at around 1300, wait for some decline to buy into it. I think it should be around 1600 by July. So I think in the next 6 months, you can get around 25%, 20, 25% in the stock. better bet because of the summer season and many other things. I believe Voltas should do well. Remember, the last two summers have been extremely treacherous for all these companies. So this time around, I think performance should be pretty good for the industry and for many of the companies in the industry. So in that respect, Voltas is something that you would probably want to look at. Although there are other companies also in this sector that should perform well as we go along, as we move along, and going forward, they should be doing much better. All right. See, SHIL for me is an avoid. If you look at their con call, if you look at their management, what the management has said in the con call and many other things, I think there could be a situation where it could be caught in a situation where the stock might gyrate between 360 on the lower and 400 on the upper end. Uh, Probably for a couple of quarters, it is an avoid. ME Organics and most of the chemical companies for me is an avoid. Some of them may perform, but after 6 7 years of huge run, it's better to avoid the sector altogether. See, HDFC AMC will continue to do well as long as new, you can say, accounts are opening and many factors, insurances, and everything is going on. So for the next 2 years, it's a hold. But I would prefer, if you want to buy a new life insurance of HDFC banks, etc., would do better than something like an HDFC AMC. There is more margin of safety in those stocks probably. Okay. So IX is a buy at these levels. I think going forward in the next 3 months, I see 300 on the stock, 290, 300. If you can buy around 250, 245, 255, those are good levels to get into. Stop loss 232. And it should do well with the kind of monopolistic business that the company is having. Okay. See, Sheila Foam is a long-term growth story, which you should just keep accumulating on major declines. It should perform well. It's a long-term consumption story that has not touched the second and third tier cities, that will continue to perform well. It's a very good management and they keep on changing their products, etc. So it's not quite a trade because of the low float that it has, but overall it's a very good long-term story. I'm not able to see long-term portfolio of yours in Patreon. I can see trading for positions only. Can I see? Well, you can see both, Mahesh. If you look at the my portfolio that I have put up, it has around 6 7 stocks. I think that is the short-term portfolio that I have, and three stocks that I have in the long-term portfolio, which I have written just below it, saying that I'll hold for 15 20 years. So you can definitely look at it. I'll update the portfolio itself in a week or so, although there are no changes. So you can definitely, if you look at the post again, there are both stocks that are listed there. Okay. Talked about Somani Home already. We can reverse the tape and Mr. Abdul, and you can see that it's an avoid at this point of time. See, life insurance should do well going forward. The problem that happened during the pandemic and post that is that the industry faced, or the companies faced, a lot of claims, and due to that, the profitability shrunk and the stock prices did not move much. But going forward, probably from FY23 onwards, things will look up. I think after the pandemic, you need to look at all the companies that were the bellwethers in 2019. So if you go back in time 3 years, and then you'll be able to understand. So which stocks I'm talking about. Some of them may just go out of favor, like the multiplexes, etc. But many of those companies would come back into fashion, including life insurance. Okay. See, happiest minds wait for the results. If the results are okay and the stock moves up, then buy. Do not buy now. Wait for results. After results, there could be even more correction. It is perhaps the most expensive stock in the mid cap domain that we are looking at. So after results, you can take a call on something like an happiest mind. See, Rote Mobile from a long term point of view is good. From a shorter term point of view, also, if you can accumulate here, stop loss 1770, a target of 2250, 2300, very much possible. It's a very decent company, but I would, even if I buy later on, I would be looking to buy from a 7 8 year point of view in my long term portfolio rather than trading in it at this point of time, because it is still slightly expensive compared to most of the IT companies and new age IT, etc. Okay, guys, thank you. Thanks a lot for being online. On Sunday, I'll be online for a longer period of time. Thanks a lot. Kindly do subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post it. Thank you.